Hey everybody, welcome back. So another showcase. LPH of course has been going around in the museum, and there is a hole up there where these were on the wall, and this is of course my Mattel Space 1999 set, which is a very short run of 9-inch action figures, which it's hard to call them action figures because they're more so dolls, primarily because they use the Sunshine family body molds. The Sunshine family bodies had been used several times by Mattel for a variety of different action figures, including the Welcome Back Kotter figures, Mork and Mindy, and so on, but also Space 1999. And they're articulated at the neck, shoulders, waist, hips, and knees. And you can see actually they have doll looking hands in these karate chop positions, and they're awkward hands, so much so that they really can't even hold their own accessories, and that includes the other figures as well. Like the Welcome Back Kotter figures have accessories that they cannot hold because of the way that the hands are shaped. These were produced in 1975 by Mattel to go with the Space 1999 television show that was airing on TV in the States at the time, which was a British production, a Jerry Anderson production, nonetheless. And in England, however, they had the Palitoy run, which was actually more like Mego figures, and they had more figures. I've only actually got one Palitoy on the card, but on the card, any of them are hard to find from either series. Again, this is the 1975 Mattel set. Very difficult to find on a halfway decent card because these card backs are very flimsy cardboard. They're very thin, very easy to damage. And another thing that I've noticed with these figures is that many of them, the belt is split, even sealed in the package. And I think it had something to do with the fact that you see there's holes punched through here, and then they run a wire through to hold the action figure into the package. And I wonder if that had something to do with it, if it wasn't bound in correctly by whoever packaged these, because it would have been done by hand back then, in Taiwan, no less. And it caused the belt to split because it's just a vinyl belt with the little comm lock and little laser on the belt there. But it's a pretty cool show. I'm a fan of Space 1999. We're actually watching it now. This, by the way, is not the complete American set. There is one more figure called Zython, and it was an alien. And whereas you see that they did unique artwork for the front of these cards, they repositioned it so that the figure that is shown in the package is prominent in the card art, which the card art is very well done, by the way. Zython, the alien, did not get his own card. If you find him, he's on a Koenig card. So he comes on the Koenig card. And that's I believe it's only a prototype, and that's why it's rare, but there's enough of them out there that some people do have them, which also ties in with their like 3-inch figures, because there is an Eagle One playset that comes with 3 figures, but those same 3 figures are available in a window box separately, and those are only prototypes, and they turn up for sale from time to time, and they're insanely expensive. Another thing I wanted to point out about these figures, for the time period and considering the type of toy that this is, I think they did a really good job on the face sculpts on those figures. I think the head sculpts for these figures, they're not bad. They're really not bad for the time period. I think it would have been more interesting to me if they had done this more so Big Jim style, rather than going as cheap as possible with Sunshine Family bodies. I would have loved to have seen these as big Jim figures in a window box instead of on this sloppy card. Notice also, if you get the chance here, Koenig's price tag for $1.99 at Family Dollar. I bet you didn't know Family Dollar was around in the 70s, did you? $1.99 at Family Dollar, ladies and gentlemen. That's amazing. And to go with them, you have Space 1999's Moonbase Alpha Control Room and Launch Monitor Center. Not lunch monitor, launch monitor. Launch monitor center. And it's basically just one of those vinyl things with some cutouts and stuff that you assemble, and that's supposed to be their like main mission kind of thing. And there's the computer, and they got a couple of chairs. Doesn't look like anything like the show. The show's sets were amazingly elaborate. Jerry Anderson Productions really knocked it out. If you watch that show, and it seems like almost every other episode they got a whole new set built that's massive. A lot of detail went into costumes and sets and special effects. For a 70s show, it really holds up. This is a sealed box. I can't really show you much other than the box, but you flip it and it flips. It doesn't turn. You see? It's upside down on the back. And it's just like a black and white demonstration of what's in there. And this was very cheap at the time also, because this has a Toys R Us sticker on it. The Toys R Us sticker price, and I'll show you here in a moment, I believe that says $1.90. You see the orange clearance tag price. I don't know what the original price would have been. And I always find that fascinating when there's a price tag on things. As long as it's not a massive, huge price tag that's distracting, which you often see with clearance tags, something small like this I kind of appreciate for adding some history to the toy. Just to give you an idea, I can grab my Palitoy here, because I've got it sitting here. This is the Palitoy Mego Style Space 1999 figure, and you see I've got the mysterious alien there. And they made more figures than did Mattel, obviously, and they were made also in 1975. These are much harder to find on the card than are the Mattels, but equally as rare. And on the back of the card here, if I flip it around, also I appreciate the fact that this is a Mego style body as opposed to the Sunshine Family body, because it's more functional. It's a lot more functional. If you flip it around here, they show you some other, because Alan Carter sure as hell deserved to have his own figure, I'll tell you what. And there's Paul Morrow, very prominent characters on the show. I noticed they chose to not show Dr. Russell or Professor Bergman. Professor Bergman was okay. Russell can get on your nerves a little bit. And that Captain Xantor there, by the way, is Christopher Lee, for those of you keeping track. Christopher Lee. And I wish I had more of the Palitoys. Anything I can find Space 1999, I'd love to have it. But there is one more piece that we'd like to show, and so we'll cut away and get to that. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is the Eagle One playset, which is a grail of mine. And this is a great toy, great playset. It's a very good likeness, or a good nod to the Eagles that are on the show. It's not as big for scale, but it works. This is nice. And for what this is actually in really excellent condition, because usually when you find these, they're trashed. By no means complete. There are things missing, primarily accessories that are contained inside. You open up the side here, you open up the gateway, and you see inside here they got some little chairs. that people can sit in. And this is a, right here, this is a hatch that opens up underneath. It's like a manhole. And there's a winch that's supposed to be up here that you can drop like a rope through. I don't have that. And the figures are not in the best condition. Unfortunately, my figures are in bits and pieces here. There's Bergman. You see his little arm fell off. The figures that came with this are terrible, but it's what I got. And it's the same three. It's Bergman and Dr. Russell and Commander Koenig. And, you know, they've kind of fallen apart. They don't have their guns, and I've only got the one helmet. And then, of course, you know, Bergman is permanently in a seated position here. I know they're really rough, but one day I'll find the rest of the figures. One thing I wanted to point out, though, is the incredible detail to the sculpting on these. Even though they're crappy figures, they spent all the money on sculpting. Tell me that doesn't look like Koenig.
You can't see nothing because it's blurry. But hold on, I'm trying to get it in focus.
Is it because it's picking up the background?
Yeah, now that's perfect.
Okay.
Hold on a minute. Let me get in there close.
They worked hard on these sculpts.
Okay,
it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is a modular system. So, like, for example, the headpiece snaps out. There should be a switch there. There we go. See?
Mm-hmm.
And it comes off, and you open this up, and you can put your pilots inside. And then this engine component comes off and snaps on here, which is things that they did on the show. You know, this could be an escape pod. Actually, this part could drop all the way out of the frame, but this particular, you know, toy doesn't do that. And what's especially special about this was a gift. Something I had wanted for a long time, and a friend of the channel sent it to me. I don't have the box, and you know, it's missing some bits and pieces. I'll find them along the way, but being a fan of the show, I love this piece, and it's a piece that I've always wanted. And that is what I have for Space 1999. Any fans of the show out there? Anybody familiar with the show? If you've never seen it, I do recommend it. I do recommend the show. It's fun to watch. It's well written, well acted. Special effects and sets, especially for the 70s, are outstanding. Do check it out. Are you fans of the toys? Do you collect any of this stuff? Dinky made a lot of die-cast models. I don't have any of the Dinky models. I used to have some, but that's a different story. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. Do you collect these? Are you familiar with them? Are you familiar with the show? Let us know what you think. And if that's it, then what more can I say but thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.